Time traveling is not a new concept, and today we'll cover some very peculiar photos and pictures that might make you think it's actually a possibility. Some of these cases look far too good to be true, to the point of them giving the feeling of photoshopping or other ways of doctoring photos. Others, however, seem more like conjecture or the effect of uncanny valley. Perhaps we believe time travel is impossible because otherwise we'd already be doing it. Saying that, wait till the end to make up your own mind. That photo is special. Number 1 is Vladimir Putin. Considering the current geopolitical climate, why not make some light of the situation and have a laugh at the expense of Russia's long-standing leader? Here's a set of photos showing that either Putin ages incredibly slowly, or he had doppelgangers across the last century, or maybe he's immortal. Naturally, a lot of conspiracy theorists will say he's a vampire, a time traveler, or something or the other. However, realistically, these photos either depict people that look somewhat similar or they're simple forgeries. In either case, we have to agree they look amazing and would give anyone pause. The only thing these conspiracy theorists didn't take into account is how did Putin become young again in the photo where he was a baby at the end of Stalin's reign and a child during Khrushchev's era. Number 2, the astronaut of the Salamanca Cathedral. When we first saw this, we were baffled. Well, maybe baffled's not the right word. Surprised would have been much better, but think on it. It's the beginning of the 2000s, the internet's full of nonsense, conspiracy theories, and us being young, impressionable teenagers had no way to fact-check anything, as most of the internet was a complete cesspool, with no Wikipedia or any other proper source of information, and any click could take you down a deep, dark, troubling rabbit hole. And so it was with this piece of art. The cathedral itself was built in the 12th century, but what most sources would mention is that it went through a phase of restoration in 1992, and one of the artists working on it decided to leave his signature, hence the astronaut on a 12th century church. A sad reality, but a reality nonetheless. Well, Putin, an astronaut on a church, what will they think of next? Keanu Reeves as a vampire? All right, there already is a painting with similar claim. In any case, subscribe and leave a comment saying I subscribed, and I'll personally reply to your comment. Number 3, the man on the beach. This photo has everything I hope to see in the near future. The sun, the sea, a magnificent beach with an exquisitely gorgeous backdrop of the houses on the cliffs, and apparently Mr. Bean looking at his mobile phone. I mean, it couldn't be anything else in a photo taken in 1943, could it? Not a person rolling a cigarette at a time when smoking was the thing, nor actually just trying to light it with a match on the beach. No, clearly, it has to be Mr. Bean looking at his phone. All joking aside, it still is a wonderful photo. You could see why people that have not experienced much of life before smartphones could start seeing things that aren't there. Whether you want to believe time travel or not, if you want to enjoy the beautiful beach yourself, I suggest you go to Towan Beach in Cornwall. Number 4, Mahir Shayan. Who loves Jimmy Fallon? Not me, that's for sure. But even I cannot and will not argue that this Marxist-Leninist Turkish communist revolutionary looks far too much like Fallon himself. Seemingly both of them were made for fame, as Jimmy Fallon is currently incredibly popular with the masses and they watch his TV show. Well, so was Shayan, as he was not, if not the most well-known Turkish communist leader. You know, maybe they are the same person. I mean, both of them have totally incorrect views, and we consider that Fallon was supposedly born only 2 years after Mahir was killed in an ambush. See what I did there? I made 2 nonsensical, unrelated pieces of information work to manipulate you to believe something you shouldn't. These 2 are their own people. Well, we've almost reached the halfway point, so I'd really appreciate it if you could dedicate the time to like the video, subscribe to the video with those notifications on, and then check out our other videos on the channel after you're done with this one. And last but not least, drop a comment with something you'd like to see in the future. And who knows, we might actually manage to get enough information on your topic to deliver that video you want. Number 5 is the Time Surfer. This photo is one of those that holds a special place in my heart. It's clearly not photoshopped and otherwise engineered, and it's weird enough to actually make you question whether this is a time travel incident. For you see, the young man on the left does look quite out of place. Unlike the others in the photo, he wears a t-shirt and has ruffled hair with no hat. Add to that the fact that the man to his left looks absolutely gobsmacked, and the lady to the right even gestures at the young man, making it more interesting. You have to question why they would have that reaction. I mean, yeah, he's wearing a t-shirt, but you got to understand it was already a thing back then, as most other men wore shorts as well. Was he an uninvited guest in the photo? Is it because of his hair? I guess we'll never know. Number 6, time traveler at Mike Tyson versus Peter McNeely. Now, I have to admit, this one was really confusing. Imagine being ringside at a Mike Tyson fight. It's 1995 and you see some guy pull out a weird handheld device and start pointing it at the fight happening right in front of you. Now, generally, handheld cameras were a thing, but smartphones? Most definitely not. And this thing really looks like a smartphone. Naturally, after years of scrutiny and having better access to more knowledge on the internet, people realized it was nothing more than a rather weird camera. The first sign that it's not an alien, it's not a time traveler, it's just the fact that everyone around the person acts if nothing is out of place. And secondly, due to some very diligent detective work by the marvelous internet community, it became clear that the device closely resembles that of cameras available at the time, namely the Casio QV-10A and the Logitech Photoman. Number 7, the Circus. If you haven't yet had the chance to appreciate the amazing work of Charlie Chaplin, you should. Other than being one of Chaplin's greatest successes, The Circus has a very interesting scene that made film aficionado George Clark stop in his tracks. Clark supposedly rewatched this scene hundreds of times and has shown it to hundreds of people, and none of them can come up with a decent explanation. Naturally, the internet, being the all-consuming beast it is, splits into different camps, with some saying Clark falsified the video, others saying that she's carrying a portable radio, which wouldn't explain why she was talking, and others say she might have had schizophrenia and was hiding her face. Reality is most probably far simpler, as the great detectives on the internet have found that it was probably just a hearing aid, and the lady speaking was her reacting to somebody screaming at her. Well, how do you like it so far? Think you have better pictures and films of time travelers to share? Well, send them to us, and also consider the best is yet to come. Number 8, it's Iceland, 1943, World War II. Iceland, along with Denmark, declare themselves neutral. That is until the British invaded in 1940, citing its strategic importance and fear of German diplomatic presence there. Reality was they just wanted to control the shipways and airways through there and make sure the Germans do not. Eventually, a little over a year later, the U.S. troops have taken over the islands from their allies, which brings us to 1943. As you can see, the U.S. troops are occupying the island, clearly having a good time. However, in their midst, a spy from the future, or just a guy scratching his ear, whichever floats your boat. You can find the mysterious gentleman standing right in the middle of the photo in what appears to be a either white or beige coat. Not a great way for a spy to hide himself. Number 9, it's Andrew Carlson. Let us return to more recent times. Andrew Carlson was a stockbroker that was put behind bars for insider trading in 2003. He somehow managed to make $350 million out of $800, and all of that in under 2 weeks. So 126 transactions and $350 million later, he finds himself in jail. And the first thing he says is, "I'm a traveler from the future," and that he can actually prove it. Naturally, the FBI didn't believe a word of it and were trying to trace as to where he got all this privileged information. And then it gets weirder. Carlson disappeared from his cell. You want to hear the real story? All made up by a satirical newspaper called Weekly World News, and somehow Yahoo decided it was real, and it all just steamrolled into absolute idiocy. Number 10, a hipster back in time. This is the photo everybody knows or should know, and as it happens, it's also my absolute favorite. This photo was everywhere, and everyone speculated on the dashing young man with the very contemporary style in what looks to be the 1940s. Amazing looking as he is, and as fancy his sunglasses are, sadly, eventually, we've learned that all of what he's wearing and holding was available at that time. The sunglasses had been around since the 20s, and the printed t-shirt was probably a sweater with the Montreal Maroons emblem on it. Nobody's reacting to him. The only weird thing about him is he's dressed far more casual than the others. Well, there you have it today. That's the end of our time-traveling adventure. So let's hear from you. What was your favorite and why? Let us know in the comments. As fun as the concept of time travel is, sadly, it's probably not and never will be a thing, at least not backwards. If it had, somebody would have visited Stephen Hawking at his champagne party for time travelers. I mean, who would have the heart to leave Hawking hanging?